Okay, this is the P4 paper from June 2023. It's question number 2, and this is a differentiation question. We're going to use implicit differentiation to differentiate the function, and then we're going to find the equation of a tangent for part C. Let's have a look at it then. So we've got this function here, which is 2 to the x minus 4xy plus y squared equals 13. Y is greater than or equal to 0. And it tells me that the point P lies on C and has the coordinate, or the x coordinate 2. What it asks us to do is to work out this y coordinate. Well, that's not complicated. That's just going to be part A. If I've got 2 to the x minus 4xy plus y squared equals 13, subbing x equals 2 in and working out what y is going to be. So for P, x equals 2, and so we get 2 squared, 4 lots of 2y plus y squared equals 13. Yeah, right, I've just got to solve this quadratic equation. So what's that? That's 4 minus 8y plus y squared equals 13. Rearrange that. I'm going to get y squared minus 8y, and that's going to be minus 9 equals 0. I'll always quickly see if this one does, see if this factorizes. Otherwise you can use the quadratic formula, but obviously factorizing is a little bit quicker. So I'm going to get y is equal to 9 and y is equal to minus 1. Let's just check if there's any limits to that. Yeah, they said y was greater than or equal to 0. And actually they also said coordinate and not coordinates. So that's going to be where x equals 9. Okay, so point P is 2, 9. We'll use that later. Part B, though, says, can we find dy by dx? This is sort of the main part of this question then. So for part B, yeah, absolutely. Let's write out my function. 2 to the x minus 4xy plus y squared is equal to 13. And I'm going to differentiate that, which means I'm going to differentiate each term. So just spend a couple of seconds looking at this one, 2 to the x. It's something that I absolutely really go over with my students in my class because it's such a small part of the syllabus, and yet this a to the x, the differential of a to the x, comes up all the time in exam questions. So good reason for doing past papers. The differential of a to the x, so in other words, differential of 2 to the x here, differential of a to the x is just log 2 to the x. Okay, log 2 multiplied by 2 to the x. You can put it like that. You can put it as 2 to the x and then stick the log 2 around the other side if you want to. It doesn't make any difference, a, b, or b, a. But that's the differential of that one. So that's key. And then even with this second part here now, differentiating 4xy, or minus 4xy in this case, this is a product, u and v. You can, if you want to, go over here and say u is equal to minus 4x and dv is equal to y, and then differentiate it a bit slower. Get du by dx, get dv by dx, sorry, not dv, v, sorry, v is equal to y. See that I do it too quickly anyway. Get du by dx, get dv by dx, and then say it's u dv plus v du. I'm going to do all that, but I'm not going to spend time writing it out over there. I think that by the time you're at P4 exam level, you should be able to do this relatively quickly, and I'm going to anyway. You can take your time if you need to. So I want, for this first part, u dv, which is that, times the differential of y, and the differential of y is dy by dx. So that's going to give me minus 4x dy by dx, and then v du is going to give me y times minus 4. So in other words, minus 4y there. Okay, so I think that it's worth the payoff of just doing that relatively quickly. Practice them. If you can't do it or you're making mistakes a lot of the time, then just slow down, take a few extra lines here. But as I say, I'm not going to. And then differentiating y squared with respect to x, that's the implicit differentiation. Differentiate it as though you would normally anything. Multiply by the power, take 1 off the power. Then because it's a function of y, we have dy by dx there. And then differential of 13 is equal to 0. Yeah, so we always end up with a function fairly similar to this when we're looking at it, in that what I want to do is keep the dy by dx's on one side and take everything else over to the other side of the equation. So what I'm going to do here then is say, I put it in the right sort of order as well. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 2y dy by dx minus 4x dy by dx, and then take the other two over to the other side, 4y plus log 2 to the x here. The whole point about doing that was I can now factorize and take take dy by dx out as a factor. So I get 2y minus 4x there. And then the last step is just to divide. So that I just end up with dy by dx. So that's going to be equal to 4y minus log 2 to the x all over 2y minus 4x. Let's just go back and check that that's good enough for the examiner. Find dy by dx in terms of x and y. Yeah, it doesn't say anything more complicated than that, so I'm happy with that. Then for the last part, it says the tangent to C at P crosses the x-axis at the point Q. Okay, let's just draw that in the diagram. I don't think I particularly need to, but let's just draw that out. If I had the tangent at P, it's not the greatest version of a tangent, but what we're looking for is that point Q there. So in other words, let's just work out the equation of this line. Once I've got it, if I put y equals 0 in, then I'll find the point Q. But I've got to find the equation of a tangent. How do I find the equation of a tangent? I want a point on the line which I've got, and I want the gradient. So I want the gradient, and I want the gradient when x equals 2. Okay, so part C. For gradient, m is going to be equal to dy by dx, but at the point, well, not just x equals 2, sorry, x equals 2 and y equals 9, because I've got a function that's in terms of y's and x's. So 4 lots of 9, because that's the y value, minus log 2 times 2 squared, because that's the x value, all over 2 lots of 9 minus 4 lots of 2. So let's tidy that up and make that as neat as possible. That's 36 minus, well, that's 4 log 2 there, all divided by 18 take away 8. So I'm going to write that properly then as 36 minus 4 log 2 all over 10. And you could divide it out again, couldn't you? I suppose we might as well do that. You could say that's 18 minus 2 log 2 over 5 then. But we're going to be using that value anyway, so it doesn't matter how neat or tidy you actually have that. So that's my m for the equation of the tangent then. Just keep on top of what you're doing here. We'll work out the equation of a tangent, so we can then work out that point Q. The equation of a tangent is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. And now I've got that x1 is equal to 2. I've got the y1 is equal to 9. And I've got that m is equal to this 18 minus 2 log 2 all over 5. So if we put that in, we're going to get y minus 9 is equal to 18 minus 2 log 2 all over 5, x minus x1, x minus 2. So multiply everything by 5, multiply out all the brackets, I'm going to get 5y minus 45 is equal to 18 minus 2 log 2, x minus 2. Now, before I start multiplying it all out and tidying it up, remember the point Q is where it crosses the x-axis, and so y is going to be equal to 0. So if y is going to be equal to 0, I'm going to get minus 45 is equal to 18 minus 2 log 2 x minus 2, and I can now just rearrange all that out to try and get the x. So x minus 2 is going to be minus 45 over 18 minus, 2 log 2. I'm going to tidy that up. I'm going to call that 45 over 2 log 2 minus 18 first of all. All I've done is taken a minus and a minus out of there. And then, and then let's just go back and see what we're trying to get it to, because it does say, right, I want to get it into that format there. So we've just got a little bit more work to do to get it into that format there. So many log 2s plus a number over so many log 2s plus a number. So we're very, very close to it. We just need to get this all tidied out. So x is going to be equal to 2 plus 45 over 2 log 2 minus 18, and then we've got to make that into a single fraction, so that's 2 times 2 log 2 minus 18 plus 45 all over 2 log 2 minus 18. Let's just explain what I've done there. In effect, I've done that and then cross, and multiplied those three out together, just doing that quickly. And then we just need to tidy this all up. So I've got 4 log 2, I've got minus 36 plus 45, so that works out to be plus 9 on the top, all over, and I've got 2 log 2 minus 18 on the bottom. So that is, wherever we get to, in that correct format there. So a lot of work to do for those marks, but by the time we're at a P4 question, we know we're going to have work to do to get our marks. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense to you.